fucking shit. I was not expecting a Tuesday ban list, and y'all know this because if you watch this week's Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush video, at the end I said, probably not till after Hartford, and I made another prediction that didn't come true, but we will talk about that. So yeah, good morning, or for me it's good evening because a little explanation. The Tuesday the ban list came out, I worked a 10-hour work day. So by the time I could get home and put something together, it was already a quarter to midnight. So I'm just recording and setting everything up now and just having the video drop at like 10 a.m. around the time everyone puts out like their, damage reports and analyses. And I'm going to try and get that sweet, sweet algorithm, the milk, that beautiful taint of the YouTube-ness. I am very tired and have no idea what the fuck I'm even saying at this point, but I know enough to talk about this ban list. So let's just get right on to it. First up, we'll go with bans first. Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon. Did this shock anyone? Rather you are okay with Halky Fibrix or not, rather you're okay with Deskbot 001 or not, this card was never okay. Like, this thing was dumb and degenerate, and as someone who used it with both Virtual World and 10E Sword Soul, I can honestly say I felt dirty every time I played it. Did that stop me from playing it? No. You know what does stop me? A ban list. So yeah, next we have Prank Kids Meow Meow Moo. We all know it had to die. Prank Kids, while they were definitely dethroned at the end of this format by Albaz, are an insanely fucking obnoxiously strong deck with the Adventurer package. They're not going to hit the Adventurer package right away because the OTS stores are still trying to sell the shit, and also any potential for reprints you could do in a future tin or anything like that, you get rid of. Yes, they put the Adventurer package to 2 in the OCG. Well, unfortunately, they like their players more than we do. So, Prank had to take the hit. Then we have Predaplant Verte Anaconda. Yes! What else do you say to this? This card's not okay. It was never okay. It was always a bad idea. I hate getting DP'd. I fully agree with a lot of people that DP was not the worst thing in this format, but I still hated it. Fuck this card. This was a mistake. No Artifact Scythe. While yes, a lot of people abuse Scythe with DPE, which you can't really do as much or as consistently anymore, I still would have liked to see the card get hit, as I do not trust Yu-Gi-Oh! Players with toys. So, yeah. Speaking of which, now we move on to the limited section. First coming back is Jet Synchron to 1. Obviously, with Auroradon gone, you can't really do that. I still feel like there's some dumb shit you can do with this card, considering Halk is still around. But yeah, I can understand now you can start slowly bringing back some of the tuner monsters, especially because I have a theory we'll get to in a little bit. Monkey Board went back to 1. A lot of people predicted this. Beyond the Pendulum literally just came out, and that's one of the hypest cards in Defo, so you gotta support that. But it is nice to see that every ban list now, Pendulums get a little something back. Although Monkey Board at 1 combined with 3 Skullcrobat and a lot of the good consistency card Pendulums have, there's a lot you can do here and a lot open to experimentation. Hopefully stuff I'll be able to get to once I get through the YCS. But yeah, that's good to see. Red Rose Dragon to 1. That's your hit for like Based and even like Dragon Link and stuff like that really used to this card. Yeah, there's really no way around it. This thing was very powerful, and again, in a world where you can't hit the Adventurer package yet, you hit the things that kind of put it over the edge, and something like this card definitely deserved to go, and at 1 is a hell of a lot harder, so it'll be interesting to see if people still experiment with 60 card variants, or if we'll see a return to normal. Next, we get the big one. A lot of people never thought this card was coming back, that it would always be banned, that it's just too much, too crazy, too degenerate, too powerful, and that is Yatagarasu. For those of you who don't know, because you were probably not born when this card was banned, fuck, I'm old. This card is like one of the all-time iconic dumb, degenerate Yu-Gi-Oh cards. The ability to skip your opponent's draw phase but by inflicting battle damage, which obviously isn't hard, made this one of the most legendarily needed-to-go cards in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yada Lock was a phrase that many of us in the early 2000s getting into this game knew and fear, and that essentially is not really a big deal anymore. Now, don't get me wrong. Obviously, being able to draw is very important in Yu-Gi-Oh! Being able to have your draw phase is super important and all that. But in a world where we're searching 20 times a turn, and we're setting up boards that usually have disruption and protection and all these things, how the fuck do you intend to Yada Lock in a way that's meaningful in 2022? At that point, I would rather just play the negates to stop whatever my opponent draws. Now, don't get me wrong. People will come up with cheese bullshit with this card, and I'm genuinely curious to see what people will do, especially in a world where there's 3 Raigeki and 3 Lightning Storm legal. Maybe people will do a lot of weird shit with this card, but based on right now, while I think it will always be stupid and degenerate, I don't think it really matters anymore. 1 draw versus 5 searches. Then we have the big one, Trickstar, Halky Fibrix. I said in the last video that I think this card is getting banned just because it just got a reprint, and Konami likes to ban things after it gets the reprint. But no, they elected to put it at 1 with Auroradon taking the hit. I already said what I believe about Auroradon. I do think, depending on where things go, Hulk might get the ban next time, and putting it to 1 is testing the waters and kind of seeing what you can do with it. Because simply put, at 1, there is still dumb stuff to do, especially now that Synchron's back. So I'm interested to see where this goes. At first glance, I'd rather have this card gone, as it's up there for Verte, in my opinion, of just things I don't like. But all in all, I understand the need to keep it at 1, and just kind of seeing where things go now that's kind of been stripped of its main power play we like to abuse here in the States. Also, I think it's funny, for a long time, we always wondered who would be the first Link monster to get hit, and now I feel like they get hit left and right now. And then we have Shooting Riser Dragon. This is also here a lot because of things like Base, or even Dragon Link. This is just a very, good, useful, powerful card that can lead to a lot of stuff and definitely deserve to the hit. Although, again, at 1, it is still usable, so we'll have to see where that goes. Then we get the next big one. Change of Heart is at 1. That's right. Another iconic, old-timed bad Yu-Gi-Oh card. A thing many said could never come back. That it's too much. It's too powerful. The ability to just take control of an opponent's monster compared to literally everything else in Yu-Gi-Oh! And all the dumb stupidity we deal with in this game. Don't get me wrong. I could totally see Change of Heart being something people tech in, they try out. Mind Control was very big back in Link format. And the ability to, just take a monster and attack for game is very powerful. But it's kind of with Yada, there's just so much in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Does this thing being at 1 feel worth it? Is it really worth teching in 1 Change of Heart when there's so much other crap to worry about? At that point, you're almost playing it as spot removal. And I just kind of feel like there might be better options. Again, this might be teched in every deck. I'm not saying it won't be. I'm just saying, to me, right now, it kind of just feels like it just fits into the flow of insanity that is Yu-Gi-Oh! But again, just me. We'll have to see what happens. Going down the list. Finally, we have Time Seal, which is the same thing as Yada, but a trap. I'm genuinely a little torn on this one, because it being a trap is a little bit different. I don't have to commit my normal summon to it. I don't have to go through any hoops for it. It's literally just skip your opponent's draw phase. Now again, like I said, 1 draw versus everything else you can do in Yu-Gi-Oh! Might not seem like a lot, but when it's in an abusable trap form like this, it is a little bit different just because it's so much more free. Now again, also the fact that you essentially have to wait till turn 3 to this be useful, and so much shit is done turns 1 and 2. After there isn't a turn 3. But we should keep an eye on this one. This is the one where I say I'm kind of not okay with it just because I feel like it just seems like something that could become problematic as we go. Next, going back to 2, Dinomites. Is It 2, which I think is kind of funny considering people have been panicking thinking Masterpiece was coming back. But no, Dynamite to 2 is fine. Put it to 3. What's it doing? Then we have another one I'm not totally sure about. Cyberangel Ben 10. Drytron aren't doing a lot at the moment, so maybe they feel it's worth it. I just feel like Ben 10 is one of those cards that's very easy to abuse and do dumb shit with. So I kind of feel like we might be seeing this back on the list again sooner rather than later. That's Fire Formation Tenki. Is It 2? No! No! Now, many of you will say that it's technically worse than Rhoda because it can be blown up and not resolved. Many are saying maybe Beast Warriors don't have the same kind of utility as regular warriors. I don't care! If I can't have my generic type searching spell, nobody can! At more than one. But yeah, we'll see. In the name of keeping Tri-Brigade alive, they did a lot of shit to hit Beast as a whole, so maybe this is like a little retribution. We'll see about that. Fusion Destiny still at 2, Nadir Servant. Desires is back at 2. Then why put it to 1? What was the point of that? Was it a weird experiment? Were they hoping for something that didn't come to fruition? I don't know with this one. It seemed pointless. I half expect this to go back to 3 next time. Just a total waste of time for us players. Then we have Trickstar Light Stage. Good. Why was this at 1 for so long? You still only have 1 terraforming. And Orchist have been out of the... And Orchist / Nightmare combos have been out of the game for a long time. Did they just forget about this? I think they forgot about this. Wall of Revealing Light, if I remember correctly, is here mostly for an FTK? I don't remember with this one, but good. Again, don't know what you're doing with this in 2022. Then we have our Unrestricted's Night Assailant. To my understanding, got a shitty errata, so who gives a fuck? Trish is at 3. I don't know if this is a good idea, considering they'd put Trish to 3 right at the beginning of the pandemic, and it led to a problem, so it went back again. I kind of don't trust this thing at 3, especially with how much synchro abuse is in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. I don't know, just something I'm not okay with. Mirage Stallion to 3, fine. Why did it not go to 3 a long time ago? Salad could have came back a bajillion years ago. But it's good to see it back, although most decks obviously mostly just abuse 1 anyway, so, but good to see. A Hero Lives is at 3. This kind of makes me moist. I won't lie. As a hero player, I like this. Heroes have not had this much level of power and consistency like this in a very long time. And with the Vision Hero reprints, there's going to be a lot of experimentation with heroes going forward. Rather it's because it has actual meta contention, or because it's just fun. I genuinely am really excited to do some cool shit with heroes going forward. Then we have Salaman Great Circle. Sure, why not? Same logic as Mirage Stallion, although this you do want to play 3 of. And finally, we have Scapegoat, which I don't entirely trust, but it's here anyways, so yeah. Final thoughts on this list. Damn, they fucking went for it. I wasn't expecting a list this big or this extensive or that did so much like crazy shit. But it is good to see a ban list that feels like it has teeth. This does not affect the fact that Despia is the best deck and will probably do very well at the YCS next weekend, which I will be attending. Sword Soul is still probably the 2nd or 3rd best deck. Lots of people do great with it even without Halk and Auroradon, so I don't think you'll see a huge change of pace there. From there, I think it is everyone's game. Floandries will probably be an uptick, but I think there's a lot of cool shit here, and I'm very excited for Yu-Gi-Oh! Going forward. But what do you think? In the comment section below, give me your thoughts on this ban list, where you think the format is going. Do you think it's better? Do you think it's worse? All that good stuff. And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me as we see what crazy shit heroes and performer pals have to offer.